What soft skills have you developed during your course? So I'm not trying to help you to pass technically. I'm trying
Yes.
to help you get the skills that will get you to pass.
Your potential will lie dormant for as long as you don't exercise it.
The more I help others, the more I help myself.
Oh, I love
Because
that.
it helps
Yeah.
me reflect and it helps me. If I'm unable to help someone,
Yeah.
then it is a takeaway for me to say, oh, maybe I need to go upskill.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Buttercup Skincare Podcast. I am your host, Noxolo Sokweba, and today we have our very first gentleman in the studio. His name is Reuben Davids. Reuben is a chartered accountant and a lecturer at the University of the Witwatersrand. And today we get to know Reuben and what drives him and how he cultivates creativity beyond the professional 9 to 5. How are you, Reuben?
I'm very well, thanks. And how are you, Ms. Nicolo?
I'm well. Thank you so much for
It's
joining us.
Thank you so much. It's such a privilege and honor
Yeah.
to be here
Yeah.
at the Wellness with Buttercup Skincare Routine and being the first gentleman. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on my CV.
You're actually opening doors for more gentlemen to come.
100%.
So, as you know, we're a wellness podcast, and I like to get to know what do my guests do to unwind and to catch a break so that I can also, take some tips from them. So, what do you do to unwind after a busy day?
After a busy day. So I've been very intentional with scheduling time for exercise. At the gym where I gym, they normally have classes, and I've literally worked a program out for myself, especially between Mondays and Wednesdays, where I specifically attend classes. So
Okay.
I'm very strict with myself. I sign up for the classes, I get reminders, it's sitting in my calendar,
Yeah.
and you'd find me at the gym between Monday and Wednesday, and that really helps me unwind.
I love that because I also go to classes. I don't necessarily like the weights and stuff.
Same.
So I also go to classes, and sometimes I tend to forget which class is when. So I like adding it to the diary
For
so that
sure.
I don't miss it.
Yeah.
And like we said, you are a chartered accountant. What inspired you to study accounting?
I'd like to say I got here by mistake.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
think I got here by mistake.
Yeah.
So I will never forget the day we received our matric results, and I realized, okay, I need to probably find a place to study at.
Yeah.
And I went to my now alma mater, University of the Free State, and I originally applied to do an MBCHB. With the hopes of eventually becoming a pediatrician. 'Cause
Okay.
I think I've always liked kids and the
Yeah.
younger generation, or at least those younger than me.
Yes. So,
And-
sorry, for everyone who doesn't know what that means, would that be a medical degree?
Yes, it is a medical
Okay.
degree. Yes, and then with a pediatrician, you actually specialize to becoming a children's doctor.
Okay.
That was what I thought I wanted to do. Thank goodness I didn't end up there because I realized I don't like blood at all.
I know.
So I went to the registration and admissions office, and I just wanted to inquire, what the status of my application was, because I had not received any feedback. And when I got there, the answer I got was the program is full. And I'm like, oh goodness, I don't know. I don't have a second option.
Yeah.
And there was an administrator, and I unfortunately can't remember that lady's name. And she asked me, okay, so what else were you good at in high school? What other subjects were you good at? And accounting was actually one of my other highest subjects.
Okay.
And I'm like, I enjoyed accounting a little bit. And she's like, okay, sure, I'm enrolling you for BAC. What is BAC? She's like, go to the School of Accounting, find out about it,
Yeah.
but you qualify for the program, so I'm putting you in there.
Oh, wow.
And that's eventually how I ended up there. And I think the next step, which is a very inspiring moment for me in my life, was I had to get funding.
Why did you choose lecturing?
I think the initial answer is it fuels me.
Okay.
Engaging with people fuels me. So I am always someone who tried to explore myself in different facets. And during my articles, I opted to do academic articles
Okay.
for my first year. So for those who don't know, the accountant program, or towards becoming a chartered accountant, you study, you get your qualification, and then there's 3 years that you actually have to serve as effectively an intern.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity to do 1 year of academic articles, meaning you're effectively a junior lecturer.
Yes.
And then followed by the remaining 2 years where you now work in a corporate space, be it in a bank or in an auditing firm. So
Yeah.
I explored that. I said, let me explore academia for a bit, just to see how I resonate with it. And if I don't like it, it's fine because it's a 1 year contract and then I'm out. So shortly after I finished my articles and I qualified as a chartered accountant, academia just called me back. I recall even during my articles as an audit trainee, I always looked for opportunities to train or to teach my colleagues.
Yeah.
And I just knew I need to be in a space where I can teach. And that's eventually how I ended up back into lecturing. It just called me.
Yeah. I wish I took that opportunity to do the academic training because I was also considering it, but my parents were like, no, you're going straight into business.
Yeah.
And you are also an MC and you have content creation somewhere in your bio as well. How did that come about? Have you always been a busy and creative child?
Yes. I think I stressed my parents and I used up all their annual leave because I was always involved in different things.
Yeah.
How the content creation and MCing came about was, like I said, I've always been involved in something. During my third year of varsity, our university had a campaign called The Face of Facebook. And what that effectively is you're an ambassador for the social media platforms of the university. So
Okay.
you'll be seen on the website, you'll be seen on their Facebook, Instagram, wherever that is. And it was a very interesting campaign and I decided to sign up for it.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. There were different entrants and people had to vote for the best audition.
Yeah.
And long story short, I made it in. And for that year, I was an ambassador for the university. I was always in front of the lens, interviewing students, engaging with different stakeholders on behalf of the students, and effectively being that link between the social media audience, the students, and the university themselves.
Okay.
And so I actually enjoyed being in front of the lens for a bit as well.
Yeah.
And I think when I developed, my public speaking skills through that platform, because I was effectively a presenter.
Yes. Okay.
People then just approached me and said, hey, we see you speak very nice on camera. Would you be keen on trying out some of our campus events?
Yeah.
So there were functions like campus formals, year-end functions, and people are like, come MC this event for us and let's see how it goes. And that also went very successful. And that's effectively the genesis of my content creation and MCing. That's how I learned how to speak to people, conduct myself in front of the lens, prepare to present.
Yeah. What I'm taking from that is the importance of not only, especially at a university stage, not only focusing on just studying, but to do other things as well. Am I correct in saying that was amongst other things that you did over and above your studies?
I think you're absolutely correct. I mean, as a student, look around in your classroom. You are sitting in a class with 400, 500, 700 other students.
Yes.
Eventually, everybody's going to walk out with the exact same degree. But what soft skills have you developed during your course at university? How involved have you been? And that's effectively what employers are looking for. They're looking for, do you have critical thinking skills? Do you have leadership skills? Can you engage in teamwork? Can you communicate and express yourself? And those skills are actually developed in these other initiatives. Because I mean, as a student in the lecture hall, you are developing yourself technically. So you are getting those hard skills. All right. You will get out of university with a degree and you'll be qualified, to engage in those technical conversations. And those are the hard skills effectively. But what soft skills do you have?
Yeah, sure. That is so important because, I mean, I focused only on the studying.
Sure.
So I guess when I came out, I realized that a lot of people, they were involved more in the firm. And I sort of had to start thinking, okay, besides doing the technical work, what else can I offer to the firm besides the technical work? So do you feel like everything that you are involved in sort of feeds into your purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. And I'm trying to think about the how.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to use what I have and the skills I've acquired and the strengths I've acquired to help the next generation make it a little bit or come up a little bit easier than I did.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of the skills that I have now or the things that I've learned now that I had to fight, I had to battle, I had to fail myself, you know, through, I think, certain mistakes I've made. And I'd like to make the next generation aware of that.
Yeah.
So in the initiatives that I'm involved in, I always try and see, will I be able to make an impact in this particular activity?
Yeah.
And that's what I tend to go towards for sure. And I think one thing I've realized is the more I help others, the more I help myself.
Oh, I love that.
Because it helps me reflect and it helps me. If I'm unable to help someone, then it is a takeaway for me to say, oh, maybe I need to go upskill in this particular area. So I think there's a lot of awareness that I take away when I assist others where I can.
And how are you bringing creativity and self-expression into your everyday job?
Into my everyday job.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, if my students were to attest, I think sometimes we go a little bit overboard in our classroom. I think I'm fortunate to be in the lecturing space because there's a lot of room for self-expression and creativity. I mean, one of the easiest areas in which I do that is my classroom management and my presentations, my PowerPoint presentations. I always try to be as creative and unique as possible. You know, there's always a new meme coming out. So I try to work that into my lectures. And I think we have a lot of fun with that. And not too long ago, I attended a training, and the training was about translanguaging. And what translanguaging effectively is you almost want to say code switching between different languages, but still having your audience receive what you're saying.
Okay.
So for example, I can say, you know what, guys, Lambora. But anyway, let's move forward.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the room would still get the gist of what you're saying. And I think with the languages I'm speaking, I'm also trying to involve that in the classroom where I connect with someone in their own language. I mean, my home language is in Afrikaans. So sometimes I tell my students, you know, and that definitely comes through as I present and as I deliver my lectures. And so far, I think my recipients have received it very well.
Yeah. I absolutely love that because our classes are very diverse, right?
Yes.
And it sort of helps also the other people to learn the other language. So I might just try that as well in my classes.
I urge you to.
Yeah. Why are passion projects important? Why should I invest in things that I'm passionate about and fulfill me and fill my cup at the end of the day?
Yeah. And I love that you ended your question and fill my cup. I think in all of our different engagements, especially within your space of work, you're always giving.
Yeah.
Right? And we have to be honest about the fact that sometimes you give so much that you can actually feel yourself running dry. You sometimes feel yourself burning out.
Yeah.
Right? And I think passion projects give back to yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever that passion project is, and all of us are fueled by various different things. But once you find your passion and you involve yourself in that, I think you then get to replenish at the end of the day or at the end of the week the output that you've given. And I think that's the importance. It allows us to find balance.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to passion projects and monetizing your passion projects, how do I deal with the imposter syndrome of not feeling good enough, right? Because some of our passion projects are not things we studied for. And there are other people who probably went to school for this and they're doing very well in it. How do I not compare myself to others and, you know, still monetize and deal with imposter syndrome?
I think in terms of not comparing, I would say comparison, if you reframe, is important.
Okay.
I would say compare yourself with others and use that as a learning opportunity.
Okay.
Look at what Notkolo is doing.
Yeah.
Notkolo has a beautiful podcast. Notkolo has Buttered Cup Skincare. Right? How do I compare with that? And now you can either take the lens of letting the imposter speak louder or saying, you know what, let me reach out to Notolo and find out, how did you start?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And then you'd often find that the minute you ask for help, people are generally very eager to help.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying everyone is going to help you. Sometimes
Yes.
you are going to hit a closed door.
Yeah.
But then that means there's probably a window around the corner that you can use to get in. So I think that's very important. Learn. And after you've learned from those that you've compared yourself to, I think you need to perfect.
I love it.
It's very important that when you step into a space where you want to monetize something, your value proposition needs to be something of value to whoever you're trying to sell it to. So it's very important to the best of your ability, make sure that your product or your service is of such a skill that your buyer will be able to find value from that. Because I think you buy certain products because you find value from it.
Absolutely.
Right. So I think that's the exact same thing if you're a seller. You need to sell something of value.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's also nothing wrong with taking a short course here and there to perfect that skill if you feel the need, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as a young professional who has an office job, and I sort of feel like I want to do more, but I don't know what more or what I have to offer. How would you advise someone like that to sort of develop what are their hidden talents and skills?
I think it's important to then explore yourself. I think all of us have I almost want to call it an inherent thermometer. You know what makes your blood boil.
Yeah.
You know what excites you. There's certain things that absolutely just make you feel at home. And it's again different for everyone.
Yeah.
So I think try and seek out opportunities where you can explore that. And you know, the easiest place is, like you said, most of us work 9 to 5 jobs. Guys, we spend 8 hours of our time at work.
Yes.
So why not start there? Okay. Is there a marketing division within your institution?
Yeah.
Why don't you speak to someone from marketing and find out what they're doing?
Yeah.
Are there any public benefit work that they're doing? You know, and see if you can maybe get involved in a soup kitchen. You might find out, hey, I'm actually very good at planning. I'm good at putting an event together, and then start exploring that. But I think, you know, the takeaway from this is try and get involved beyond your work demands.
Yes.
And I think that's where you'll be able to see what you resonate with. And work is probably an easy place to start, but there's various different organizations that you can do that in. Even if you start, you know, currently, and I think in the broader South Africa, there's a strong running culture.
Yes.
You know, everybody has a running club.
Yeah.
People have hiking clubs. Maybe say one Saturday, let me go and explore one of the hiking clubs, and maybe start a conversation with some of the other hikers there and see if they can invite me to something. But I think, guys, it's important to explore.
Yeah. 100%.
Please do explore yourself.
Yeah.
And I want to speak about potential. I think everyone has potential. And I'd like to show you an illustration on what I mean with potential. I'm not a scientist exactly, but I do know that potential has something to do with possibility. It means there's energy locked into a particular structure, and effectively the only way you'll be able to establish how much energy is in that thing is you need to put some pressure on it or expose it in some way, shape, or form. So if you look at this is an elastic band, all right? This is an elastic band, and I think we all know it's quite flexible. It's elastic.
Yeah.
All right. And you won't know how far this elastic band can stretch if you don't pull it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you can pull it and you can go further. And I hope it doesn't hit my face. But it goes further all the way until it eventually hits a point where it breaks. And then you know, okay, so this is the strength of this elastic band. But if you don't stretch it, all right, if you leave it like this, you'll see all that untapped energy sits in this.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's what I'd like to communicate to those young professionals. Stretch yourself, you know, expose yourself, put yourself into positions and areas where you are not certain, where you feel a little bit underqualified or unskilled. And you might just realize that you're much stronger.
Sure.
And you can go much further than you currently are.
Yeah.
So I think
I absolutely love that. I think I'm taking it for myself as well. And it goes well with your motto, which I wrote here, that your potential will lie dormant for as long as you don't exercise it.
Exactly.
So until you go out there and you stretch yourself, you actually will never discover that potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you, how are you finding passion and purpose within your 9 to 5? When you're not in class, are you involved in other things within the university?
Yeah, I actually made the example of the marketing side of things.
Yes.
So I actually found a little space for myself within the marketing side of our school, which is a very interesting area to be in. You get to engage with high school pupils. You get to explain the program and the journey of chartered accountancy with them. You spoke about content creation. So through that platform, I then also honed the skills that I've gotten through study with Reuben in there. So I would then, collate a report through a video format where I say, okay, guys, this is what we've done today. And I get to play around. It's very nice to again, with the youth to explore different things. One event we arranged during one of our open day programs was we arranged an amazing race throughout the School of Accountancy. And through that amazing race, there were different pinpoints that the students had to complete before they got to the end. And what we did is we used that as an opportunity to teach them about the programs within our school and about the profession as a whole. And so I've had a lot of fun in that environment, for example. So that's just one of the other areas that I've, involved myself in.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Absolutely, it is.
You mentioned studying with Reuben. Tell us about that. Is that one of your passion projects?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Studying with Reuben is one of my passion projects, and it's not so much technical studying, but more me trying to communicate skills that you need to become a successful student.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not trying to help you to pass technically. I'm trying to help you get the skills that will get you to pass.
Okay.
So on Study with Reuben, you won't find technical content for us, for example, us going through a particular topic in your studies. No, we'll go through, how do I manage my day as a student? That's what we'll speak about. We'll go through, okay, when I sit down for a test and I'm feeling anxious, what do I do in that moment? Right. And that is what Study with Reuben is there for. And the reason for that is, I think if you're a student, you have the technical resources at your disposal. You have your lecturers, you have your tutors, you have all of that. But often, and myself as a lecturer even, I think we are so involved in teaching the content that we're not teaching the how to understand the content. And that's what the platform Study with Reuben is for. It's there to help students say, okay, fine, now that you understand the content, okay, how do you perfect it? Or how do you manage yourself on a daily basis to make sure that you're successful in your assessments or in your qualification?
Yeah. So whether I'm an engineering or medicine student, it's still a platform I can go to get those.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, of course, my lens is accounting because that's the history I have. So I will refer to, my experience in accounting and the topics that I've studied in accounting. But I think there's definitely something in there for everyone.
Yeah. And how is your accounting degree helping in some of your passion projects?
There's something peculiar about the Bachelor of Accounting qualification, and it's the fact that we have 4 majors that you did not select. You selected it the day you signed as a first year. You said, okay, I will do these 4 majors. And, for those who don't know, it is taxation, financial management and management accounting. It's auditing, and then it's financial accounting. And all of those teach you how to run a business. And they teach it from all the different lenses within which you'll be looked at in your business. So, I mean, if you think about the financial management major, there's things like strategy in there. And one of the topics we have is a SWOT analysis, where you get to evaluate what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And while we were assessed technically, I get to apply that in other areas of my life as well. I'm able to say, okay, fine, I'm strong in this. I'm weak in this.
Yeah.
And what's important of knowing what you're strong and weak in is you need to know where your areas of development are. You know, you mentioned earlier, you can do a course. There's nothing wrong with doing a course.
Yeah.
But how will you know what course to do if you don't know what weaknesses are out there for you?
True.
You look at the opportunity lens, for example, there's different opportunities. You know,
Yeah.
I saw the opportunity in the marketing space of our school, and that's where I'm now honing my skills in. But then there's also threats. And I think it's very important to be clear of your threats. And all of us are, in some instances, exposed to a threat.
Yeah.
There can even be a threat of not being skilled enough to be in the position where you're in.
Sure.
And the problem with that is you might be replaced. You might, there might be somebody who comes in who has a better skill than you.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have an awareness of that. And I think that's just one example that I can use in what the course I did has taught me to look at and how to frame myself going forward.
I like that approach. I mean, all I use sorting is my business. You know, I've never like used it in my personal life as well. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think every time I sit down with a chartered accountant, I want to ask this question because I get asked this question a lot, especially by first years or people who are in high school. Was it worth it for you studying the CA and taking the CA route?
Definitely.
Especially also because you are planning to go into medicine, but I guess fate led you through this path. Yeah.
Yes, it was definitely worth it. I think the thing with, you know, being a chartered accountant is it opens up so many different doors for you. You know, I mentioned the 4 majors. You can specialize in different areas of your life. And that doesn't mean if I'm a financial accountant, I'm not good at tax.
Yes.
Right. I can effectively easily switch to tax if I want to because I have the technical skills to do that. So I think it's worth it because it allows you a myriad of opportunities. You have an array of different departments that you can put yourself in. And even with that being said, you're not limited to the technical side.
Yeah.
You know, you can explore things like marketing if you want to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I say that. You know, one of the things that is ingrained in you as a chartered accountant is lifelong learning.
Yes.
You have to be a lifelong learner. And guys, I'd like to, you know, even be as brave to say learning is a skill.
Yes. I agree with that.
And you must want to learn.
Yeah.
You must be curious enough to learn. And that's exactly, you know, some of the things that I've been exposed to as I've been a chartered accountant. And now it's very easy for me to learn. I think asking for help for me is the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Or I can just go up to someone and say, I don't know how to do this. And I want to know how to do this. Can you help me do it?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it did for me. Beyond that, like I said, I was in the auditing space for a little bit. I mean, I look at, you know, the different types of recruiters that have approached me. Different roles.
Yeah.
Very unique roles. You know, 1 week there's an opening as a financial accountant. The next week there's an auditor role available. You know, the next week there's an academic role available, and you can definitely explore various different facets in that regard. So I like the fact that yes, you have 4 majors, but you're not a super specialist.
Yes.
You can still, you know, switch around
Yeah. And if you want to specialize, you can do that as well.
as well.
And how do you manage burnout, right? Because with creativity and also what you do as a lecturer comes a lot of mental stimulation, right? How do you ensure that you're not always running and you don't end up getting burnt out?
I think I'll go back to the gymming thing earlier. I think I've been very intentional with gymming, and because I do classes, I have various different classes that stimulate me completely differently. You know, there's a lot of high intensity, high cardio involved, and a lot of music involved as well, which is very fun, and community. But what that does for me is it allows me to decompress completely from everything. You know, there's a 45-minute class that forces you to be engaged. There's an instructor in front of you that moves at an extremely fast pace, and you need to keep up. And that, I can't tell you how much it's forced me to just come into the moment, right? And gymming is intense. I think, you know, those who gym would know that. But I often leave the gym, even though it was an intense session, feeling more refreshed than
You went
tired.
in. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
initially.
yeah.
So it's actually become a therapy for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And how that has assisted me with burnout is firstly, I think after a gym session, you're so exhausted. So you get home, you take a shower, and you have to sleep.
Yeah.
So it also forces me to sleep because I'm too
Yes,
tired to really sit
yes.
up and do anything.
Yeah.
So what that basically means for me is that I need to manage my day so carefully that I get everything done before I hit gym. Because I know
wow,
after
okay.
gym, it's shower, probably have some dinner, and then go straight into bed.
Yeah.
And that sort of forces me into rest. Yes.
Thank you, Reuben. And how can people find you? If people want to work with you or they just want to get to know you professionally, where can they find you?
I think you can definitely find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm LinkedIn there. I'm available over there. So
Yeah.
connect. You can send a message, and I hopefully will get back through to you soon.
Yeah.
But then you can also find me on my Instagram page, Study with Reuben. I do have my email address in there as well, if you would like to engage further, and then also Reuben Davids
Yeah.
on Instagram. If you'd like to find me over there, and I think I'm also on Facebook.
Okay.
Reuben Davids. So
Wow.
I'm on those different platforms.
Yeah.
If anyone would like to engage further.
Yes, and that's where they'd go, right? If they wanted you to be an MC and stuff like that.
Certainly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Reuben.
I appreciate it. And again, I'm going to brag to the rest of the world that I've been the first gentleman
male here.
on this podcast. It's going on my CV.
And thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I will see you on the next one.